Hey everybody, this is John, live from Stockholm. Welcome to the free video. And it's been interesting. It's always interesting when you kind of get on the road, get out of your time zone, and just kind of see what's going on in the market. Since I have been on the road, which I left on Saturday the 3rd, so essentially then we've just been in a slow uptrend, okay, over the last kind of 4 days. Now, when I left, this is of course what happened on that Friday, which was insane. But since then, we've broken through the 21 period moving average, and we just kind of kept going higher. And the whole idea with on Thursday, Wednesday, and Thursday of last week was not trying to get in front of the freight train of any market. So actually staying away from the short side, even though I've just been really liking the short side, but really just focusing on honey badger stocks. And my favorite honey badger stocks at this point are stocks like Facebook, where you've got Facebook, you've got Amazon, and then most importantly, Netflix. These are my three main positions that I have. And the idea with this is that we have an uptrend. We have stocks that are kind of bucking the trend of the market. Of course, Amazon didn't do that today. But you also have stocks that are rising in implied volatility as they head into earnings. So let's take a quick look here at Netflix. So Netflix is one where I started off with a pretty big position, and I wish I still had the entire position, but this is one that we kind of scale out. There were clear targets at the snow line at 108, and then there was a tree line at 115. So once we started hitting that 111, 112 area, that's the time to kind of start thinking about taking some off the table. And then, today there was this crazy move to the downside, but at this point I've got the positions that I want to hold into earnings. Okay, so you can see here a combination of it. We're at $115, and I've got some in-the-money options. But because we're in a situation where we're rallying into earnings, I've also got some out-of-the-money options with the idea that price will help those out-of-the-money options, but more importantly, a rise in implied volatility. So I want to be able to say, like these 120 calls, I want to hold these up until the day of earnings. I think the earnings date is on the 14th. I'm not planning to hold through earnings, but the rise in implied volatility up to that day, if that continues to happen, we'll see these out-of-the-money options continue to increase. Then on the 14th, I'm happy to sell them to other people who want to hold them through earnings. Okay, so right now this continues to be my favorite play. It just, Netflix is kind of that honey badger stock, doesn't care what the rest of the market is doing. I like that we've got a specific, October 14th D-Day, and we know that implied volatility is going to rise into it. Okay, and that kind of takes a lot of worry out of stuff, because trying to sit there and wonder what the dollar is going to do and the spiders and all that kind of stuff is, sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense when this does make a lot of sense. All right, so that's what I'm focusing on there. And you can see though that even though Amazon was down $9 today, from a daily chart perspective, it has not changed, at least in my mind, anything. I mean, it's holding its 21 period moving average. Okay, we blew through it. We've pulled back. That's normal. And at this point, if this is going to work, and I'm still holding my position until the 15th, which is earnings day, I would look that this was kind of the test, and now it's time to launch itself from there. Okay, so that's kind of the main stuff I'm looking at. Especially while traveling overseas. I don't want to be sitting there having to watch the markets every minute. These are stocks I feel comfortable owning regardless of what the market's going to do. All right. All right, and last but not least, for those of you, some of you have heard of these guys, some of you haven't. You guys know, we don't really promote anybody else. I mean, I believe in what we're doing and what we're teaching, and that's fine, and that's enough, and I don't want to throw a bunch of stuff out there. But I'm also a believer in kind of the idea that, hey, if there's other ways to kind of earn an ancillary income that can free you up from a job so you could trade more, I'm a believer in that. And this is what these guys do. So this is, if you're not familiar with these guys, they show people how to sell products on Amazon.com, how to find products, how to rank them, and all that kind of stuff. And we've just had a lot of good feedback from people that have tried it. So these guys are going to do a free webinar, and it's going to be this Friday, October 9th, and it's going to be at the market close. So 1 to 3 o'clock Pacific time, of course, is 3 to 5 Central time, which is 4 to 6 New York time, but essentially it's at the market close. And again, it's a free webinar, simpleoptions.com/ASM. And really, it's just something that, if this is something you've never heard of, I just think it's pretty cool. I even got a copy of the course to give to my son so he can actually start selling Minecraft toys online, which is a process he's starting, and he's only 10. And it's just something that I just find is very fascinating. Just not something I knew a lot about, but again, I love the idea that, especially if somebody wants to trade, that this is income that they could create that could, like, say, replace their job so they could focus more on trading. So if you're interested in checking that out, you guys can read the bullet points for more information. But again, just go here, simpleroptions.com/ASM. That'll bring you to this page. But this is the main thing here. Just do your first name, last name, email, hit register, and they will send you an invite for the webinar on Friday. Okay, that's all I got. Otherwise, if you got Netflix, hold on to it. And I'll touch base with you guys again on the 14th for what to do with that. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you at the next update.